whenever you find your seat, just take a moment and shift your weight side to side on those sit bones. Give your toes and your fingers a little wiggle. And then even out your weight on those sit bones. And then get your shoulders more or less over your hips. And maybe close your eyes if that is comfortable. And then find some stillness just for a few moments here. And relative stillness, right? Because if you really tune in, you'll notice that the breath is moving the body. That you are expanding, making space for your inhale to arrive, to fill the lungs. And then emptying the lungs, contracting through the rib cage, drawing the belly towards the spine. And then moving like that, making that breath a bit more intentional. Maybe hearing the sound of your own breath. And then using the sound of your breath and the sensations of the breath in the body to keep you focused and keep you centered. And when the mind goes other places other than the present, notice that. And then make a choice. Maybe choose to keep going wherever you were going, or maybe choose to come back to the present, to your breath, to the sound of your breath, to the sensations of that breath. If you can, breathe a bit more through the nose. And then feel your breath in your whole torso. So not only the rib cage, but see if you can feel the expansion in your shoulders, the fronts of your shoulders, around the shoulder blades. And then feel the release, the softening as you exhale, also in those areas. Let's take about 5 more cycles of breath. And then with your next inhale, opening eyes, opening those arms out into a T, making extra space in the front of the body. And then on your exhale, closing up that front of the body as you bring your arms in front of you. So notice that constriction in your chest. And then again, open up your arms. And then as you exhale, right arm over left, we're keeping them extended. So we're reaching away, but we're just crossing them. Even more constriction through the chest. Restore space again, inhale. And then exhale, left arm over right, same idea, cross and reach. Inhale, open up, turn your palms to face back, and then bring the hands behind you. Maybe grab the chair or opposite hand and send your chest forward. Find that space again, fronts of the shoulders, and then squeeze the shoulder blades. Take a full breath in and take a full breath out. As you inhale, release those arms, reach them this time towards the ceiling. And then on your exhale, bend your left elbow, drop the hand behind the head, and then use your right hand to draw that left elbow a bit closer. Breath in. And a breath out. Expand and lengthen up. One more inhale. And exhale. And then release, reach both arms up. And switch sides, bend the right elbow, use your left hand to draw that elbow a bit closer, and then push the head back into that arm. Find some space around the armpit, the rib cage, that triceps. And then as you inhale, coming back through center, reaching your arms tall, and on your exhale, arms go wide and down by your side. Find a little movement through your wrists, both directions. And then bring your hands to rest on your thighs. As you breathe in, lift your heels. And as you breathe out, lower your heels. And then again, breathe in and lift. Breathe out and lower. And breathe in to lift. And push down and lower. Now as you inhale, lift. And on your exhale, just lower your left heel. You're on the ball of the right foot and the toes. And go straight into some circles with your hip. With your shoulder. With your hip. In one direction, and then switch direction. Give your toes a bit of a stretch too. And then the next time your knee comes through center, we're going to give that top of the foot an extra stretch. So you're welcome to stay here or see if you can slide your toes any amount towards the back, towards the space behind you. Toes are pointing back. The top of the foot is moving towards the ground. So a little push there if that's available. And see if you can feel maybe the stretch going up the shin. Breath in. And a breath out. And then bringing that foot all the way forward, coming onto that heel. And then as you extend your leg out in front of you, let's find some pointing and flexing through that right foot. Toes away from you and toes towards you. And away and towards you. One more time, point and flex. Now keep that foot flexed. As you breathe in, reach your arms up. And as you breathe out, hands to your hips as you fold forward and down. Pause, breath in and breath out. One more inhale and exhale. As you breathe in, coming back up, reach your arms up, lengthen, and on your exhale, twist towards the left side, left hand behind you, right hand crosses over. We're moving between those two poses a couple more times. So as you breathe in, come back through center, arms lift. As you breathe out, hands can come to hips, folding forward. Inhale, rising up. Exhale, finding that twist. Inhale, back through center. Exhale, finding that fold. Inhale, back through center. Exhale to find your twist. One more time. Inhale through center. Exhale to fold. And inhale through center. And exhale to twist. Pause in your twist. Take a full breath in. Take a full breath out. With your next inhale, return the body through center, arms lift, and then wrap your left hand around your right wrist as you pull that right wrist up and then over. So first, stay in the same plane. So imagine your shoulders kind of stacking. And then now we're going to go forward a bit. So we're looking for a stretch through the right side of that lower back. So think about pulling your right wrist kind of diagonally away from you towards the left side. There you go. Notice the difference. And then draw belly to spine, breathing in and breathing out. And then as you inhale, return through center, release the wrist, and on your exhale, arms wide, and then bring them to your hips. We're going to lift that right leg. So push through the heel, engage through that right quad, hip flexor, and then from here, find your figure four. So maybe you're crossing at your thigh, maybe you're lengthening your left leg out and you're crossing at the shin level or even lower at your ankle. But your right knee is moving away from you and towards the floor. And you're doing that just by using the strength in your right hip. Pause here, take a full breath in, lengthen the spine. And then if it's available, hinge from the hips as you reach your chest forward and down. Press those hip creases back and down, breathing in and breathing out. One more inhale. And exhale. And then rising up on the inhale, arms lift. And on your exhale, arms go wide, slide that and down and slide that right thigh all the way over the left. right toe, right foot towards the left leg, and then open up your arms, breathe in. On your exhale, your right arm comes under your left. We're stacking elbows just like we were doing before. So reach and then bend your elbows and bring your hands to your shoulders or to your upper arms. Send your elbows away from you. Try to align your elbows with your shoulders, breathing in and breathing out. Nice job. One more inhale and exhale. And then as you breathe in, unwind those arms. You can reach them tall. And as you breathe out, release your arms and then unwind your legs and find your seat. Take a moment, notice any sensations in the body. Breath in and breath out. And then let's do all of that on the other side. So as you're ready, lift your heels. And then on your exhale, only your right heel is going to lower. So you're on your left toes, ball up the foot, and find those rotations through this left hip. In one direction, and then in the other. Toes might be getting a bit of a massage too. And then the next time that your knee comes back through center, we're going to get that stretch for the top of the foot. So staying here or sliding those toes towards the space behind you. Top of the foot pushes towards the ground, any amount. So it's not so much about, well, definitely not how it looks, but see if you can feel that you're getting a stretch through the front of your ankle, maybe your shin too. Breath in. And breath out. And then from here, sliding that heel all the way out in front of us. And then same as we did before, pointing and flexing through that left foot. Toes away from you, and then toes towards you. And then again, away and towards you. And point and flex. One more time, point and flex. And now keep that foot flexed, and with your next inhale, your arms can lift. And on your exhale, hands to your hips as you encourage that flexion to happen from the hips as you send your chest forward and down. Pause here, breathing in and breathing out. So notice if you're feeling extra stretch in the back of the knee. And I tend to do that. I tend to hyperextend my knees. So if you are feeling that, that's not necessarily a great thing. So keep a little bend in that knee. Keep some action in your quad. Imagine that you were trying to draw the femur bone into the hip. One more breath here. And then we're going to move again. Inhale, reach your arms tall. Exhale, we're coming into a twist towards the right side this time. As we inhale, we're coming back through center, arms lift. As we exhale, hands to hips, find again that fold. Inhale, rising up, arms lift. Exhale, twist to the right. Inhale, rising up. Exhale and fold. One more time. Inhale and rise. Exhale and twist. And inhale and rise. And exhale and fold. This time on your inhale, rise. And on your exhale, find your twist and let's pause. Taking a breath in and taking a breath out. One more inhale, lengthen that spine. And exhale, belly to spine. As you breathe in, return through center, reach your arms tall. And as you breathe out, bring your hands to your hips. Again, engage through that left leg. Try to lift it without leaning back too much. So inhale and lift, and then bend that knee and make your way into your figure four, whether it's using your hands or not, whether it's extending your bottom leg or not. See what works best for you. That left knee again is moving away from you. That left foot is flexed. Find that length through the spine. Maybe you stay here. Maybe that chest goes forward and down. Remember, try not to just round your spine as you do this. Okay, so it's that flexion through your hips. Breathing in and breathing out. One more inhale, soften jaw, soften eyes. Exhale. And then as you breathe in, let's rise up, reach your arms up, lengthen. And on your exhale, arms lower and slide that left thigh all the way over to find your eagle legs. Left foot now squeezes towards that right leg. Your knees are pointing forward. Open your arms out into a T. And on your exhale, your left arm this time is coming under. And now squeeze those elbows towards one another and then bring the hands to those shoulders. Send your elbows away, maybe lift them, align them with your shoulders. See if you can feel that stretch through upper back. Emphasize that stretch with your breath in. And soften shoulders with your breath out. Another one like that, breath in. And breath out. And then unwind those arms. You could reach them tall. And exhale, arms lower, and release those legs coming back to your seat. And just take a moment once again just to notice any effects of those movements in the body. And maybe not only in the body, maybe also in the mind. Notice if you're still here or the mind went other places. No rights or wrongs, just notice. Breathe in and breathe out. All right, inhale, we're heeling to toe those feet out. And exhale, bring them back in. And then again, take them out. And bring them back. And then this time, take them out and pause there. Heels more or less under those knees, and then your hands on your thighs, thumbs inside, fingers outside. Take an inhale to lengthen the spine, and as you exhale, left shoulder forward and down. As you find your twist, your inner thighs stretch, your shoulders stretch, your lower back stretch. So quite a lot going on here. And then bring yourself back through center. And take it over to the other side as you exhale. And then again back through center. One more time each side towards the right. Keep that spine long, crown of the head reaching away from tailbone. And then back through center. And last time towards the left. And don't let your right knee come in, so send it away. There you go. And then bring yourself back through center. As you inhale, reach your arms up. And on your exhale, interlace those thumbs. So hook your thumbs, your palms are facing forward, spread out your fingers, and then bend your elbows quite a bit. It's kind of like you've got some ears or something, I don't know. And then send your elbows away from one another, really pull on those thumbs. So you'll notice your back body, your shoulders working quite hard. And then keep your knees going wide and back. Take another breath. And then release. Reach your arms tall and then wide and down. And then heel to toe your feet back to hip width. Bring the right knee into your chest and give it a squeeze. Take a moment here to lengthen up, broaden chest. And then as you exhale, round, bring the nose or the forehead towards that knee. They don't have to touch, they're just going in that direction. And as you do that, push that back body back. And then again, bring yourself up, broaden chest as if you were doing a cow pose. Shoulder blades draw slightly towards each other. And then exhale as you round. Imagine that cat spine. And one more time like that, breathing and lift. And breathing out and round. And then from here, lift the spine, drop that right foot and switch sides. Let's do the same thing on this side. If you had your fingers interlaced around your shin, find the opposite interlace. So opposite thumb on top, just for a bit of a change here. And then again, find that lift, that opening through the chest, that squeeze through the shoulder blades, and then that rounding. Exhale. There you go, nice job. Breathing in again, 2 more times. Open up, fill up those lungs. Exhale, empty out, belly to spine as you round. 1 more, inhale and lift. and exhale and round. And then neutral spine, lower that left foot, and then grab a hold of your block. And we're just going to do a little bit of work with the block and those shoulders. We're going to just focus on protraction and retraction, and we'll do that then at the chair, and we'll do that then on the floor. So I want you to focus on that movement through that upper back and distinguishing protraction, retraction from the rounding through the whole spine and arching. Okay, so different there. So we're going to grab a hold of the block as if it was a sandwich, and your hands more or less shoulder width, so the block will be like in a wider setting between your hands. Thumb on one side, fingers on the other if possible, and then block in line with those shoulders, arms out in front of you. Now the effect is the block moving towards you and away from you, but we're not bending elbows. We're not really changing the arm. The only thing that's working here is kind of the shoulder blade area, okay, that upper back. So when you're ready, draw that block towards you by squeezing your shoulder blades towards one another. So drawing that block back. And then send the block away from you by sending those shoulder blades away from one another. Okay, no change in your elbows, your arm. And then again, draw the block closer just by squeezing those shoulder blades towards one another. There you go. And then send it away from you just by sending those shoulder blades away from each other. Nice job. Let's do it a couple more times. Draw that block towards you. And then draw it away from you. Notice the movement in that upper back. Take a break anytime, draw it again towards you, and then away from you. Also notice the spine doesn't change here, right? And then just take a little rest. Rest the block on your thighs, let your arms dangle, wiggle your fingers, rotate wrists, take any movements that feel good. And then let your arms hang by your side, and now just for fun, let's play with that block on those thighs. So with your next inhale, lift your heels without moving the block, without letting the block fall. And then exhale, lower your heels. And then again, lift and lower. If you want extra challenge, put the block in the kind of the mid setting. So rather than just flat, put it on its side. And then again, lift. See if you can really lift those heels and lower. And one more time, lift. There you go, nice. And lower. All right, grab a hold of the block one more time. We're going to do that again. So that protraction, retraction. Watch your spine. So watch that you don't do the full cow and cat with your spine. Okay, so when you're ready, again, find that neutral position. Notice how that feels in your upper back. And then draw the block closer. Draw the shoulder blades towards one another. Try to keep the crown of the head reaching tall, and then draw the block away from you. Shoulder blades away from each other. And then again, draw it back and forward, away, and draw it back. And take it forward. And two more times, bring it back and forward. And last one. And forward. Nice job. Move the block. Now put it to the side. And then rest your hands on your thighs for a moment here. Turn your palms up. And then just give your fingers a little wiggle. And then we're going to make a fist. Draw the fingers into the palm and then wrap your thumbs around the fingers. And then squeeze, strong, strong fist. Maybe even draw that fist in a bit. So you're lifting the top of the hand away from your thigh. Feel your biceps engage, the forearms engage, breathing in. Keep your shoulders relaxed and down, breathing out. One more inhale, tight fist. And then with your exhale, soften. Wiggle those fingers. And then we're going to do the same fist, but this time the thumbs are going to be inside, right? So the thumb comes into the palm first, and then the fingers wrap over that thumb. Okay, so now you're squeezing that thumb. Okay, and then the same, start with a tight fist, but still the tops of the hands are on the thighs, and then begin to activate through your forearms and biceps. So draw those fingers in towards the inner part of your wrist, your forearm, and again feel your biceps begin to engage. Keep your shoulders down, crown of the head reaching tall. Notice if you kind of tend to want to do this, right, to round over, and resist that. Another breath in, still tight, tight, tight. And then on your exhale, soften and release. Wiggle those fingers. And then turn your palms, and then tap your fingers as if you were kind of tapping on a sideboard or something, or the keys of a piano. And don't forget about your thumb also. Okay. All right. Okay. So a little stretch through the neck, and we're going to make our way up to stand. So when you're ready, planting your feet, we'll go 3 times up and down. Your arms could be in front of you, or you might bring your hands to your hips, but this tends to be a bit more challenging because you've not got that counterweight to help you go forward. So you choose. When you're ready, bring your weight forward into those feet and rise up. Keep your knees bent though. And then as you exhale, return those sit bones to your chair. And then again, coming forward, inhale, weight into your feet. Exhale and lower with control. One more time, inhale and coming forward, up. And exhale and lower. This time we're going to come up and we're going to stay lifted. So inhale and rise. Keep your knees bent. Maybe free your arms. They might come forward and up by your ears. Palms are facing one another. Turn your pinky finger slightly in. Allow your shoulders to move away from your ears. Keep bending into those knees. Draw belly to spine. And then inhale, straighten legs. On your exhale, right arm down, side stretch. Return through center, breathing in, and take it over to the other side as you breathe out. Let's do it one more time, each side, center. Exhale to your right. And inhale, center. And exhale to your left. As you breathe in, coming back through center. And then on your exhale, arms go wide and down by your side. All right, so let's turn to the seat of the chair. And we're going to work on that protraction and retraction here also. Okay, so it's going to be from a table pose. Your hands are going to be more or less under your shoulders as usual. Your ankles, your knees and your hips are going to be in line too. And then try to find a neutral spine. And sometimes a neutral spine, you've got to find it by finding the 2 other ends, right? The 2 other extremes of movement, the arch and the rounding. So feel free to find a little movement like that, and then find that middle place. The belly is drawing towards the spine is long, that tailbone is reaching back, the crown of the head is reaching forward. And if those hamstrings are feeling tight, remember a little bend in the knees will allow those sit bones to lift a bit more and to neutralize a bit more the sacrum area. So when you're ready, we're going to play around again with that retraction and protraction. Okay, this time we're working against gravity, or with and against. So when you're ready, retraction, those shoulder blades come towards one another, and you'll notice that your chest kind of drops between your arms, right? And then protraction, you're going to push the chair away as your chest moves away from the chair, but you're not going into a full rounded spine. Okay, so it's just that upper back, your shoulder blades move away from one another. And then again, retraction, feel that chest just dropping straight down between your arms. Your elbows don't change. And then protraction, that chest moves away from your chair. Okay, so it's it can be kind of subtle here, but see if you can feel it. Don't worry too much about how it looks. And then again, chest drops between the arms. Feel the shoulder blades kind of collapse towards one another. And then chest moves away from the chair as your shoulder blades go a little bit more apart. 2 more times like that. Drop the chest. Don't change your arms. Don't shift forward or back. It's just straight down. And then push away. 1 more. Chest drops between those arms. And then chest pulls away from that chair. Nice job. And then from here, just bring your hands to your hips for a moment and rise up. Take a moment here, let your hands maybe shake them out or wiggle your fingers. Let your shoulders get a roll in one direction and then the other. So usually that retracted position, sometimes you'll see that when kind of there's a bit of weakness in the shoulders. We kind of just tend to drop. The chest drops. So whenever we do table poses or we do plank poses, you want to try and avoid that. So you want to try and avoid those shoulder blades just drawing towards one another and the chest drooping down. Okay, and one way to avoid it is kind of to use your hands against the surface to push. So you're pushing away, but you're not rounding the whole spine. You're just finding a bit more space between your shoulder blades. It's almost like broadening that upper back rather than rounding it. Okay, so we'll try it one more time and then we'll add some other movements. So come back into your table pose and give it 3 goes, retraction and protraction in your own way. Again, make sure that your wrists are more or less under your shoulders. Sometimes if you got them a little further forward, you can still do it, but it might feel a little bit, maybe it's not as a dramatic movement. Again, so a couple more, your own pace, just noticing the difference between retraction and protraction. And then when you feel that you've explored both, come back to a neutral spine. And then we're going to go into cow and cat so that you also notice the difference between protraction, retraction, and then cow and cat. So as you inhale now, we're going into cow. So now the belly lowers, the chest comes between the arms and forward, and the gaze lifts. So now the whole spine goes into extension. And then as you exhale, the whole spine goes into flexion, rounding, pushing that back body up towards the ceiling. And then again, come into cow pose, inhale. Notice that the hips come into play here too. There's movement through the hips. And then round cat pose. One more time, inhale into cow. And exhale into cat. Nice job. All right. Finding a neutral spine, and then with your next inhale, we'll work the legs. Left leg is going to rise. On your exhale, bend that knee, draw that knee into your chest, round your spine. Inhale, extend left leg out behind you. Exhale, left knee to left elbow. Inhale, extend leg behind you. Exhale, left knee to right elbow. Inhale, extend. On your exhale, bend into your right knee, land on the ball of that left foot. Left knee is lifted, you're finding a lunge. Send your hips forward and down. Your hands are still on your chair. And you're kind of pushing the chair away. So think again about that more protracted upper back rather than collapsing chest forward and down. Nice job, breathing in and breathing out. Draw belly to spine, slightly tuck the tailbone. And then when you're ready, step that back foot forward, return to your table pose. Switching sides, right leg is going to rise, inhale. Exhale, knee to chest and round your spine. Inhale, extend. Exhale, knee to right elbow. Inhale, extend. Exhale, knee to left elbow. Inhale, extend. This time bending into your standing leg. Land on the ball of the right foot. You're pushing the heel away. You're drawing those hips forward and down. You're getting a stretch through that right calf, the back of your ankle. And then notice again the position of your shoulder blades and see if you can find just a bit more space between them. But still chest broad and open. So you're not going into a full rounded spine here. Breath in and breath out. One more inhale and exhale. And then bring that weight forward, step that back foot forward, coming back into your table pose. Bring your hands to your hips, and then slowly, one vertebra stacking over the other, we are rising up to stand. Once you get here, bring your palms together, interlace your fingers, rotate your wrists in one direction, and then rotate them in the other. And then release. All right, so if you're coming down to the floor, we're going to find a table pose on the ground. If not, feel free to do the same thing here now at the chair, just like we did using a table pose with the seat of the chair. So if you're coming onto the ground, it's the same kind of alignment. Your hands under your shoulders, your knees under your hips. And then let's give those wrists a bit of attention before we move on. So a little strengthening action for those wrists. So whenever you get there, we're going to turn the left fingers towards the left and the right fingers towards the right. So you've got the inner part of your wrists and your forearms facing one another. And then from here, shift your torso from side to side. Push down through the finger pads. Okay, so left fingers towards the left, right fingers towards the right. You've got them splayed out any amount, so they don't have to be completely out. Just find any degree. It's just a bit different to the usual position. And then bring your torso back through center, and then we're going to rotate a little bit more. So see what's available. Those fingers turn towards your knee. Okay, they don't have to point totally there. Just see again what's available. So the inner part of your wrist now is trying to point towards the front of your mat. And then here, we're going to go forward and back. So careful that you don't overdo this. Your thumbs are going to be facing away from you to the sides, right? So now we're forward and back, any amount. So it can be quite intense on the wrist. So make sure that you're pressing down through the finger pads. So shifting forward and back. Breathing in and breathing out. And then the next time your torso comes back through center, send your fingers to face forward once again, and a gentle counter stretch. So flip the left palm up, fingers point towards you, so that scooping action, top of the hand to the mat, just gently. And try to bend at your wrists. So rather than just at your fingers, sometimes what we do is we just bend here. Try to get the top of the hand to move a bit more towards the mat, any amount that feels okay. Okay? There you go, yeah. Sometimes we'll just do this, and then the wrist doesn't really change if we just bend here. But sometimes, all this movement is not available, just see how much, but become aware of this. And then flip the other. So switch hand, bring again that palm onto the mat, and then switch hands. The right hand will do the same. There you go, nice. Breathing in. And be gentle, so don't put too much weight on it. Breathing out. One more breath. And then return that palm to the mat. Tap your fingers just like we did earlier, as if you were tapping on a sideboard or the piano. Don't forget about your thumb. And then plant your hands. So we're going to come into, again, those retraction and protraction. But here I'm going to give you another option. Okay, so you're more than welcome to do the same that we did before, those wrists more or less under the shoulders, and retract and protract like we did earlier. Or if you want a little extra challenge, you're going to come forward some. So your hips are no longer going to be on top of your knees. They're going to be a bit forward of your knees. So it's kind of moving into a supported plank pose. So it's going to be a bit more taxing on those shoulders. Okay. So, but the same idea. So if you want that to try this, your shoulders are still going to be over your wrists. Okay. But it's your hips that are going to be a bit more forward from off your knees. Okay, so if you want to give this a try, you would do the protraction and retraction here. So same idea, remember, try to tuck your tailbone, draw the belly towards the spine. Remember that we're not trying to do any cows and cats with the spine. We're just working on those shoulders. So the chest drops towards the floor, the shoulder blades come towards one another, and then the chest moves away from the floor. There's some space appearing between the shoulders. And a couple more times at your own pace, and taking a break anytime also. Use those finger pads when the wrists are getting tired. Make sure that you're using your whole hand. And then from here, give yourself a rest. So we're coming into child's pose. If you're using your chair, feel free to come to stand or to sit on your chair and let your chest kind of fold over your thighs. On the mat, your heels are coming towards your sit bones and your chest, or your heels, your sit bones are coming towards your heels and your chest is coming towards your thighs and the floor. Anything that you'd like to do with your arms, it might feel good to bend your elbows and hold onto opposite elbows, or it might be available to bring your arms by the side body with your palms facing up. So I know I'm saying quite a bit of a lot of options here, but again, you don't have to try them all. You might already have the one that works best for you, so feel free to be there. Let's take about 3 to 5 breaths. So we're going now into a bit more of a restful place. There might even be some open mouth exhales. And find another breath in. And another breath out. And then from here, one last little burst of energy. Bring those arms in front of you. And this time we're working from the forearms. Okay, so you're coming again into your table pose. But instead of being on your hands, you're going to be on your forearms. What you're trying to align here now is your elbow and your shoulder. Okay. And remember with your shoulders, and when we're aligning shoulders and elbows, it's a bit narrower than you would think. So sometimes we think about shoulders, the outer part of the arm. Well, no, we want to think shoulder joint, so a little narrower than you would go probably by default. Palms can be facing down, forearms more or less parallel. Again, use your fingers here, use the whole hand. And then we're going to reach that left leg out behind us, extending it out. See if you can keep it lifted for a moment. And then if you are keeping it lifted, find some rotation through your left ankle. There you go. And then in the other direction. Nice job. Notice what your chest, what your shoulders are doing. Try not to collapse. the chest down. So again, think protraction. And then lower the ball of the foot so your left knee is still lifted and you're getting a stretch through the back of the leg, that left leg. Breathing in, pushing through those forearms, breathing out. Nice job. One more inhale here. And then on your exhale, bend that left knee, lower that left knee, and we are switching sides. So as you are ready, again, check in with the position of your shoulders and chest. Push the floor away. Right leg will rise. If you're keeping it lifted, find some rotation through your right ankle. One direction. And then switch. Keep those shoulders under over your elbows. So try not to shift forward. There you go. And then pause the rotation. Lower the ball of that right foot to the ground. Push through that right heel. Push through your forearms. Again, think about your shoulder blades moving away from one another here, but you're not going into a full rounded spine. Full breath in. Strong through those arms, and full breath out. Nice job. Bending your right knee and returning the knee to the mat, and then make your way again into a child's pose. If you're doing this at the chair, remember sitting on the chair, letting your spine round. Breathing in and breathing out. One more breath. And then let's walk those hands towards us. Let's lift that torso. Coming on to stand on the knees, and then shift your feet to one side and make your way into a seat. So your hand could lower behind you and your sit bones lower. Your legs come in front of you. Once you are here, finding some space between your feet and your knees are going to be bent, and then let's bring those hands to the shins. Get a good grip on those legs, and then pull your chest forward, lift your gaze, and then on your exhale, keep that grip on your legs as you let your torso go back and round. And then again, forward on the inhale, so your cows and cats with the spine, and round on your exhale. And now freeing up the whole spine, so now no longer restricted to that retraction, protraction. Now it's the whole spine can move here, breathing in again, and rounding as you breathe out. One more time, inhale, and exhale to round. And then find a neutral spine. Bring your hands to outer hips. You might make a fist. Take a full breath in as you lift that spine. And then on your exhale, let your knees drop towards the left side. Right sit bone will lift off the ground. And then as you inhale, bring your knees through center and take them over towards the right side. One more time each side. Breathing in, lift. Nice job. Exhale to your left. And inhale through center, and exhale to your right. Come back through center on the inhale, bring your feet to hip width, and we're coming down onto the ground. Remember, you can come onto your side if you prefer, and then roll onto your back. If not, arms can reach forward. These are your counterweights, so keep reaching as you lower. Your chin to your chest, control the weight of your head, and then when you're ready, begin to lower. Lower back, mid back, upper back, and lastly, head. And then once that back body is down, those knees come in towards the chest. One hand onto each knee and separate circles with those knees. And as you find this rotation through your hips, notice how that feels in the back body, the back of the hips against the ground. and then switch direction. And then let's squeeze the right knee in towards the chest and just plant your left foot on the ground. Left knee can stay bent. And then transfer your hands to the back of your right thigh. And then just play with extending and bending that right knee. Just a few times. Extend and bend. Keeping your right thigh as close to your belly as you can. Keeping your right foot flexed as you extend, pushing the heel away, and then drawing the heel towards the glute. One more time. And then release, bring both knees into the chest, and then switching sides. So your right foot is going to plant, and then your hands come around your left shin. Just give yourself a little squeeze. And then transfer your hands to the back of that left thigh. And then again, explore that extension through your knee and that flexion. Keeping that left thigh as close to your belly as you can. Pushing through the heel and then pulling back through the heel. One more time. And then bringing both knees into your chest once again. And then again, just rocking a bit from side to side, giving that back body a massage. And if you feel like it, you might come all the way onto one side and then all the way onto the other side. And then bring yourself back through center. Plant your feet, let your knees rest against one another. Bring your hands to your belly. Take a moment to lengthen a bit more that lower back, so you might be able to get it just a bit closer to the ground, if that is comfortable. And then notice the rise and fall of the belly as you breathe in and as you breathe out. And we'll find just a few minutes of stillness. If this is a comfortable position, stay here. If there is a better position for you, find that one. And then get yourself ready by taking a deep breath in and breathing out through the mouth. And as you do that one more time, see if you can feel the body softening and releasing towards the ground with your exhale. And even if you know that you need to be somewhere in a few minutes, can you still be right here for these minutes right now? Can you find as much softening, rest as possible? Can you really tap into that not doing? And can you be the witness rather than the actor? Just for a few minutes. wherever your attention is at, and bring it back to your breath. Feel your next inhale, and feel your next exhale. And then use your breath to invite gentle movement back into fingers and toes, ankles and wrists, neck, anywhere else in the body. And from that back body, you might draw those knees into your chest and then roll onto one side. Support your head in your arms and invite a breath in and a breath out. And then use your hands to gently prop yourself up. Find a comfortable seat to end practice with. Your hands resting on your lap or bringing your hands to your heart. Maybe your eyes stay closed. Feel that lifted spine. And then let's just acknowledge here the practice. And then acknowledge ourselves for practicing. We'll acknowledge those who practice with us. And we'll acknowledge those who make it possible. We'll end with a word that means that the light in me recognizes and honors the light in you. Namaste.